Hello students, my name is Wahidullah and I am chemistry lecturer here at Kurtuba School and Colleges. Dear students, we had started our fourth chapter, and that is hydrocarbon, and today we are going to study the physical properties of alkane. So now, what will be our today's lecture content? So that is actually consists of many parts, and in the first part we are going to study some general properties, some general physical properties that are related to alkanes. The second property which we are going to study is the solubility of alkane. It means that alkanes are soluble in which kind of a solvent, whether it's soluble in polar solvent or whether it is soluble in non-polar solvent. The third part which we are going to study is density. The fourth part we are going to study its melting point and boiling point of an alkane, while in the last part we are going to study viscosity of alkanes. So now, some general properties of alkane. So alkane are colorless. Alkanes are less denser than water as it flows on the top of the water. In alkanes are non-polar molecules, so they are more soluble in non-polar solvent than they are in polar solvent. Alkanes are insoluble in water. Remember students, that alkanes from carbon number 1 to carbon number 4, they are usually in gaseous form, while alkanes from carbon number 5 up to carbon number 18, they are usually in liquid form, while some alkanes above that range from carbon number 19 and above, they are usually in solid form. Now, telling you about the melting point and boiling point of an alkane. So the melting point and boiling point of the shorter chain alkane is very low. As I told you that they are in the gaseous form, but the melting point and boiling point of an alkane increases as the number of carbon atom in a carbon chain increases. Okay, this point means that when the molecular weight of alkane increases as we go up in a homologous series, so actually the melting point as well as the boiling point of those alkane will increase with the increase in the number of carbon atoms. Graphically, you people can see that as the number of carbon atom are increasing, so its boiling point of the alkane increases too. So it's I hope that's very obvious from the graph. Is the number of carbon atom, as you can see that when the number of carbon atom is 1, so usually the boiling point is around 100. When it goes up to 2, that becomes below 200. When it becomes 3, so the boiling point increases above 200, and in the case of 4, that is around 300, while in case of 5, that is above 300. Similarly, when number of carbon atom increases, the boiling point or melting point of an alkane increases. In a tabulated form, you can see that in methane, as it contains 1 carbon atom, so its melting point is minus 182 degrees centigrade, while that of ethane is minus 183 degrees centigrade. So again, propane that is minus 190 degrees centigrade. In case of butane, that is minus 138. You can see that there is a slight increase in the melting point, while if you can see in terms of the boiling point, so the boiling point of methane, that is the 4th column, the boiling point of methane is minus 164 degrees centigrade, while that of ethane is minus 89 degrees centigrade. Propane is minus 42 degrees centigrade, butane is minus 1, and pentane is 36, hexane is 69 degrees centigrade, octane is 125 degrees centigrade, and decane is 174 degree centigrade. Usually, as you can see, as the number of carbon atom increases, their boiling point increases too, while there is a slight change in the melting point, because if you see in the first 3 carbon atoms, so the melting point is minus 182, that rises to 183, minus 183, and that further rises to minus 190. So here in all these 3 cases, the melting point actually decreases. When we go further, carbon number 4, so here the melting point start increasing, and it goes up to minus 138, and further in case of 5 carbon compound, it further goes up to minus 130, and so on. Okay, the density part, while the physical state, as I told you, that from carbon number 1 to carbon number 4 usually the compounds are gases, while above that these are liquids up to carbon number 18, and above carbon number 18 usually they are solid. While the density part we will be discussing it in a portion of density, or in the section of density when we will be discussing density now. So density of alkane increases with increase in their molecular weight. Now we are going to towards our table. So here you can see that the density of a carbon, first carbon or carbon number 1, methane, that is 0.66 gram per liter, while in case of ethane that is 1.265 gram per liter. In case of a propane that is 1.867 gram per liter. So as you can see that when molecular weight, or when the number of carbon increases, the density of the compounds or alkene increases too. Okay, natural gas is usually composed chiefly of methane, as we discussed, and that has a density of 0.67 gram per liter. The density of air is about 1.29 gram per liter, because natural gas is less denser than air. Okay, that was these are generally an extra knowledge if you want to read, so you can read it, and that will help you, or that will increase your knowledge. Now, viscosity of alkane. So molecules, actually, what is viscosity? Viscosity can be understood to you people when reading the paragraph. So molecules actually can slide around each other, and a liquid has the ability to flow, and the resistance to such flow is actually called viscosity. As we know that the liquids or fluids can flow from one point to another point, and when the resistance is offered to such flow, that is called viscosity. So liquid which flows very slowly, like glycerine or honey, they have high viscosities, and those like ether or gasoline which flow very readily, they are low viscous, or they have low viscosities. Viscosities of alkane increase with increase in the molecular weight. So it's mean that when number of carbon atoms increases in a series, so viscosity of increases as well in the series. It means that when we go from lower molecular weight alkanes to a higher molecular weight alkanes, so usually the viscosity goes on, or you can say the viscosity increases, or the compounds becomes more viscous as compared to the compounds which have lower molecular weight. Dear students, actually that was all about the physical properties of alkane, and I hope there will be no difficulties to you people. Each and everything will be clear to you people. In last, stay home, stay safe, and work hard. Thank you so much.